Today we are going to look at 6 different ways to cut oranges, whether it's for a charcuterie board or just a fruit platter. For the first method, start by cutting your orange right in half and then slice off the bottom. This is going to create kind of a charcuterie orange cup that you can then put the fruit back inside. So there's a couple ways to do this, but I like to just kind of slice right around the edges of the orange. And you're then going to take out this piece of orange and you're going to create your cup. So take the end of the orange that you cut off, put it right in there. And then we're going to do the first one here where we're actually going to make this into a flower. So I'm going to make some thin slices with the other half of the orange. And I'm going to take those slices and I'm going to cut them in half. Next, I'm going to take each of the orange slices and I'm just going to place them inside of the cup itself. So keep going kind of around in a circle, working your way inward with the orange slices. And you can, be creative with it, put more in there if you want a fuller cup. Sometimes I find that it's easier to take the very inside ones and really roll them up on the board before I put them in. But what you're going to be doing is just creating this really pretty orange flower. The next way I like to cut an orange is kind of the classic method where you are just going to be peeling the orange. You can do this by simply peeling the orange. I like to cut off the orange rind though because it gets all of the white outer edges off. So go ahead and just slice around. It's going to take going around a couple times to get all the white stuff off. Once you've got all the outside edges off, just simply go right down your orange and slice nice big slices. And this just makes it really easy to eat. So if you're making a board, a fruit board, a charcuterie board, these are just really easy pieces to pick up, usually with a toothpick, and someone can just eat it without peeling or dealing with any of the extras. For this next technique, we are going to make another kind of orange cup by cutting the orange in half, cutting the end off this, and then you're going to, again, just like the flower, you're going to cut the inside out. So just kind of go right around, slice that orange in a circle. Just like with the orange flower, you're going to want to create a little cup by putting the end of the orange right inside here. And then you're just going to slice your orange pieces up in kind of a downward angle. And this just makes a cute little cup, and people can easily pick out the orange pieces with a toothpick or a fork or something. So it just makes it really nice and easy. Another way to make a flower design when you are designing, and you can do this with lots of different fruits, but with an orange, you're just going to kind of go around the center of your orange and make these kind of diagonal cuts in the orange itself. And you're trying to get your knife to go about halfway through the orange when you do this. You don't need to be too, exact with it, but basically you're going to be creating this kind of serrated design so that when you pull apart the oranges after you've gotten the whole way around, you're going to have a orange flower that's just really pretty. This is much more of a decorative element for a board. It's hard to eat these unless people are taking them back to a table with a plate and forks and spoons. But they're really, really pretty. You can do this with kiwis and lots of other fruit. Another classic way to cut up an orange for board is just to create slices with the rind on this time instead of peeling it first. And you can leave these orange slices in full slices so they're nice and big like this. You can cut them in half. I really like to cut them into quarters just because they're really fun because you have kind of that triangle shape to lay out on the boards. You can kind of put them in rows and get kind of decorative with them. So I really like cutting these in quarters. Plus they make it really easy to eat for someone who's just picking them up. And finally, for the last different method here for cutting up an orange, we are just going to go with kind of your classic slices. Anytime I slice up an orange, I do like to take a little bit of the white off if there's a lot in the middle. Just slice that off, get rid of it, and then just cut those in pieces. And you can do these really, really narrow if you're trying to lay them out in kind of a row. You can do them a little fatter if you have that space on the board. So you can kind of experiment with that a little bit. But again, these are easy to eat. I think of these as classic, kind of the way you might cut it up for a kid's lunchbox or something like that. You can lay them out in little rows like this too, and it looks really pretty. And that is 6 different ways that you can cut up oranges for a charcuterie board or fruit platter that are just decorative, easy to eat, and fun. Please subscribe, come back for more designs and ideas.